This Peltzy guy, he had a full house before me. Maybe he's done something that I haven't, but I'm really glad that you are all here, and it's also great being here. I am going to tell you a little bit about an adventure that I did almost a year ago that I call Fjälldrottningen, or Mountain Queen, which was basically to climb 7 peaks in 7 days. And I am going to speak English since I don't speak Finnish. And if you think that's difficult, I have a lot of pictures, so you can just stop, listen to me, and look at the picture. So this was my dream about climbing. And I saw this documentary on TV where you got to follow this Norwegian journalist when she climbed 7 peaks in Romsdalen, Norway. And by doing that, she was awarded the title Mountain Queen. And that was a little tempting. I just had one problem. I had never climbed in my life before. And this was, back in 2012. And I thought it was too difficult for me. But as the time passed, I gained a little bit of confidence, and I thought maybe it wasn't just that difficult that I first thought. So I looked at the documentary once again, and I realized, okay, it was a bit too difficult to me. So I did this a couple of times, but then I thought that if I want this, if I want to earn this view, I just have to pull myself together and decide to do it. So, and this was in January 2015. And I gave myself 6 months of preparing to be able to climb these 7 peaks. And they are all situated in Romsdalen, as I said, in Norway. I'm not sure, is it in level with Vasa, or could be, yeah. And I recognized quite early that to be able to do this climbing adventure, I would need to get some help from someone living in the area who knows the mountains better than I do. So I found this guy, Halvor, and he agreed to follow me on my journey. And when I decided to take Halvor with me, I thought I made it a little bit too easy for myself, so I also decided to take these 7 peaks in 7 days to make it a little bit more difficult. And to be able to do that, I decided to stay just in the middle of the area. So I found this place, Romsdals Lodge, and as you can see in the mirror of the kitchen window, I had a perfect view of the peaks that I was climbing throughout the week. And that is actually one of the peaks that I was climbing. And before I left, except for all the preparations with training and climbing, I also had a look at the weather reports daily. Because I knew the spring was coming very late this year. And I knew there were going to be a lot of snow in the area. Usually there is no snow at all in June, July when I was planning to go here. But the first day I arrived looking like this, and I was quite shocked. I had snow up to my knees, and it was getting warmer, so the snow was getting really soft, heavy to walk in, and a lot of avalanches, so the snow was just falling, and I thought, okay, I have to stop this before I even started my adventure. And you know, I made this Facebook page, Fjälldrottningen, before I left, and I was embarrassed because I thought, okay, I'm never going to be a Fjälldrottning. So I went straight to Halvor's place after this, and I asked him what to do. And he just said, Sofia, it's absolutely no problem. We will just bring our skis. And this is on the 28th of June. I didn't bring any skis. And this is late afternoon, 3-4 o'clock, and I have to go into the village to find a pair of skis. But if you want to do something really badly, you will succeed. So 6 o'clock the following morning, we were heading off towards the first peak, which was Juratind. And here we have a couple of hours through the woods, and then some more hours in steep hill and snow on the skis, and then finally coming towards the peak. And this this was such a great feeling to be going, to get going. Also very tiring for me. Even though I prepared myself and pushed myself really hard for the 6 months, it's never going to be like the real thing. And yeah, here we're just having a selfie moment before reaching the final climb. And as you can see, we're still wearing our ski boots. When you're climbing in steep hills and skiing upwards in steep hills, you can't carry too many pair of boots with you. So we had to climb in the skiing boots, which was not very nice. But the feeling on the top was even better. And I was exhausted when I reached this top, and it was the first of 7. And you know, on the peaks there are usually a little box where you can find a book and you can sign your name and if you had any feelings and yeah. And when I opened this box on top of the mountain, I found this sneaker bar. Someone left it, and I could read the book that the last person that had been there was in October the year before. And if it would have been the last climb for me, I would have eaten it. But now I've saved it for someone that needed it more. And the weather was changing quite drastically. One day sunshine and the next like this. Yeah, so the weather was changing a lot quickly, as it often does in the mountain areas. And this is the second day, and we are moving into the fog. And this is on my way up to Stora Trolltind, and on my way up I passed the highest point of Trollväggen, which is Europe's highest vertical cliff. It's 1,000 meters. Obviously I didn't climb that wall, but I lay myself down to have a look down this just 1,000 meters, but unfortunately I only saw about 1 meter. So I suppose I have to go back there. And this also made it quite difficult for us to reach the actual peak because the sight was so bad. And here is also from the top. We could hardly see anything. And yeah, this is what it looked like when I came down. It was I think I was out for 15, 16 hours, a lot of snow, and just so wet. I could pour out the water from my boots. And the days were very long. And even though you just want to go back home and put your head on the pillow, you still have to take care of your gear. And I think that's something very important, no matter what you're doing. Even if it's a trek away from the mountains, but here it can matter. If you don't take care of the gear and prepare for the next day, you might put yourself in danger. So at this point I was not too happy about it, but it helped me during the days. And here I'm on my way to Romsdalshorn, and this was supposed to be my final climb because it's the most difficult one technically wise. And but we had to make it on the 3rd day because of the weather. And here, can you see me on this picture? I'll help you. It's a tiny. Oh, you can see it. It's a tiny yellow dot over here. It's me on the wall anyway. And this is from the climb. I thought before I went here that this was going to be the most challenging part for me. But when I was here, I realized that this was actually what I liked the most. Because here I had a rope and I felt really secure. It was much worse with the peaks where I climbed in deep snow and had the feeling that I could fall. We can see here also that the weather is changing. One moment sunshine and the next moment fog. And this is from another day, but this is just a picture that I chose because I think that the mind is better than my technique. The 6 months of training didn't make me a professional climber at all, but I think the power of the mind is much stronger, and this bad technique resulted that my knees looked like a Dalmatian, and this is just the front. I looked exactly the same all the way around. But also great to be on the top, and this has a quite funny story to it, this mountain, because the first ever to climb it was 2 local guys from Norway, and they only had a problem. No one believed them when they came back down, because it had been quite a challenge to reach the top. And it was only 50 years later that someone actually managed to get to the top. And this guy, he wrote in his memoirs that it's a great feeling being on the top. The only thing blocking my view is the pile of stones that these 2 other local guys had made before them. So it took 50 years to recognize that these 2 local guys actually were the first on top. And now, as I said, the plan was to take 1 peak a day for 7 days. But because the weather was changing and getting very warm, the snow was getting more rotten and bad to walk in. So we had to actually take the last 4 peaks in 2 days, which was very, very challenging for me. So here is a day, the first day when I took 2 peaks, and that's the king and the queen. And you know, when you're getting tired as well, every shortcut seems to be a good idea. So this made, you know, only have to climb from the bottom once and then down in the cleavage and then up again. So it was tiring, but also very great. And Halvor and I, we ended every day like this with a fika, a coffee and a cake, just to talk over what we've done during the day, what we did good and bad, and what we can do better next day, and to have a look at the weather reports and see our possibilities for the coming days. And here I realized that the next day was going to be a very tough day, also with 2 peaks. And here we're leaving at 5:30 in the morning. And here we are getting ready for Kvalldalstind. As you can see, it's a lot of, it's a mixture. It's a lot of trekking, but also a lot of climbing, and a lot of snow. And also a lot of joy, of course. And here from the top I had a good view over the last peak. That was going to be Vängeting, the top that I could see from my kitchen window as well. And from the top everything seems small and everything seems close. Hey Nora, welcome. But on the way, not feeling so easy all the time. And yeah, that's where I'm heading, and that's where I came from. And here we are going on the ridge between the mountains. And it's this was a very windy day, and quite steep as well. And I can say the thing that saved me this day, I was wearing pants like this, so pockets here, 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 and here. And I had them full with snacks and chocolates to be able to keep my energy level. And this was a typical day with the snow very deep and So now I'm getting closer and closer to the top. So this is it, and now Halvor is telling me, Sofia, now you are a fjälldrottning, mountain queen, yay! And yeah, I wasn't quite finished because I also had to make my way down to the valley. And when I came down, I was absolutely finished. I had to put my head in the river to cool down. I was overheated from the sun, and I had some tears in my face, and but it was a really great feeling, absolutely. And when we have this picture, we can talk a little bit about gear and clothing. For me, throughout this adventure, it wasn't very important to get new gear and to keep myself with the most lightweight, because I chose to wear what I normally wear when I'm trekking and outdoors. So it was the only thing that I got new for this climb was actually my boots. And then I also chose a boot that have the same foot as my normal trekking boots. So everything felt really comfortable. And yeah, so how do you think I celebrate the award of becoming a mountain queen? Sleep is a good guess. But I did celebrate with another trek, because this area is so beautiful. It's really great. So do you guys have any questions? Nora?
But can anybody can anybody go? Because, for example, if I haven't been climbing, could I go, or
Yeah,
what do I need to do?
As I said, I had never been climbing at all. I think it's more mental.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, this was actually the perfect adventure. The word adventure is so difficult because it will mean something for me and something else for you. And for some people, this have been way too easy, and for someone else, way too difficult. But for me, it was just the perfect challenge. I was thinking every day, I can't go on anymore. But then you do, and then that makes it even better when you're finished, I think. Yeah, I was along the way when I was planning, I got this award in Sweden called Adventure of the Year. And it was quite funny because I was very insecure about this. I was thinking many times, is this really a good idea? But then when I got this award when I was planning, it was sort of a receipt that at least one other person thought it was a good idea. So yeah, also gained a little bit of confidence because of that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Kiitoksia Sofialle. Thank you very much.